Versatile Mage. Chapter 639. The Undead's Ancestor. Oh right, Brother Fan, don't you have the underground holy spring? Asked Zhang Xiaohou, as a sudden thought crossed his mind. As soon as Zhang Xiaohou asked the question, the eyes of President Han Ji flickered as he interrupted, the underground holy spring from Bo City. Yes, the underground holy spring from Bo City. A masked man in a grey-white outfit slowly walked out. His glittering eyes were looking at Mo Fan. Mo Fan scrutinized the man thoroughly, yet had no idea who he was. At the same time, Lu Ru moved closer to Mo Fan and whispered to him, "It's him. He's the one that gave me the blood serums and has been following us. You have been keeping an eye on the Black Vatican, but why were you watching the people of Hua Village and Zhang Xiaohou, too?" "I was entrusted by someone to do so," said the man. Entrusted? Mo Fan and Zhang Xiaohou were even more confused. "We'll discuss it later. Besides, I can't tell you even if you ask. Mo Fan, do you still have the underground holy spring?" The man remained on the topic. "I do, but I'm in a similar position to Fang Gu," Mo Fan said honestly. If he had known earlier, he would have managed to squeeze some of the remaining underground holy spring out from the little loach pendant. He had used the same trick to bait the Black Vatican into the trap at the Magic City. However, the underworld river had already taken shape inside the little loach pendant. It was impossible to retrieve any underground holy spring water from it. "I don't understand. Why does the underground holy spring matter in this situation?" asked Mu Bai curiously. It was the same question that Mo Fan wanted to ask. They were clearly in need of the water of Kun, but why would they suddenly be interested in the underground holy spring? Could it be that it had the same effect? "Brother Fan, the truth is, our Bo City and the villages came from the same ancestor a long time ago," said Zhang Xiaohou. "More precisely, Bo City was once a tribe just like the villages. They moved far away to the south, and after 1,000 years, they slowly grew into a city in the south. Meanwhile, the villages remained isolated from the world, hence they simply remained as villages," added the mysterious man. The jaws of Mu Bai, Zhou Ming, Zhao Kunsen, and Wang Sanpang dropped. "That was more than 1,000 years ago. It's like saying we are all descendants of the Yellow Emperor. I bet we're not even related to the people from the villages anymore," said Wang Sanpang. The mysterious man nodded. The kid was right about that. Many years had passed since their ancestors had moved to Bo City. Everyone would be related if you looked back long enough into the past. However, Mo Fan suddenly recalled what Xingxia had mentioned to him. Bo City were the descendants of some ancient emperor, who moved to the south and developed his power, starting from a village. In other words, Xingxia's teacher had speculated right. The ancestors of the people of Bo City were from the ancient capital, and were from the same origin as the people in the villages that were isolated from the world. The people of Bo City now have mixed lineage since there were many outsiders that moved to the city. It's hard to say if anyone still has the pure bloodline now. However, there's something that can prove that Bo City was from the same origin as the villages. The underground holy spring that the people of Bo City protected for generations was actually the water of Kun, said President Han Ji, who had been relatively quiet. Underground holy spring, water of Kun. That's right, the authorities of Bo City had been protecting the underground holy spring because of some teaching of their ancestors, too. It was exactly the same as the water of Kun. Mo Fan slapped his forehead. Why hadn't he thought about it? This also explained why the Black Vatican was so eager to acquire the underground holy spring and kept on chasing after him. The underground holy spring that Bo City had protected for centuries. The people of Bo City were the descendants of some ancient emperor that had migrated to the south. The underground holy spring that the Black Vatican tried so hard to acquire. The water of Kun and the teachings of ancestors of the villages. The enraging spring and the dew of 9 serenities. The underground holy spring and the water of Kun. It turned out that every piece of information was already right in front of him, yet he did not even link them together. Little Loach, Spit out the underground holy spring at once, you're in big trouble. The end was still the same. Mo Fan's underground holy spring was already refined into the little loach's source of energy ages ago. If they could not retrieve the water of Kun from Fang Gu's skeleton, there was no way they could retrieve a single drop of the underground holy spring from the little loach pendant. Mo Fan desperately wanted to end the disaster too, but they just happened to be out of luck. It was as Han Ji described. They could not escape from their fate. It seems like our plan isn't going to work. The ancient king is still going to be awakened. Everything will be destroyed, said Han Ji with a dull expression as if he had already predicted the outcome. There's still hope if we can find the tomb of the ancient king. The mysterious man had no intention of giving up. It's been 2,000 years since the end of the Qin dynasty, but has anyone found his tomb? Well, I guess we'll find it soon, as he's going to wake up and become the king of this city that's going to turn into a kingdom of undead, said Han Ji. Qin dynasty, the ancient king, the undead's ancestor. Mo Fan came to a realization when he heard the words. History. This world's history was identical to the world he came from, so the ancient king they were talking about. It was the emperor of the Qin dynasty, Ying Zheng. It's him. Ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. How could a person that has been dead for over 2,000 years be responsible for this calamity here in the 21st century? No, 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 this is a world of magic. The history records in this world clearly stated that the discoverer of the undead element was the emperor of the Qin dynasty, Ying Zheng. History even mentioned that he had spent his whole life trying to find the pill of eternal life, just so he could stay alive forever. Eternal life. Before, Mo Fan would simply laugh at the thought of it. However, he no longer found it amusing. If the history of the two worlds were identical, if the emperor of the Qin dynasty Ying Zheng in this world of magic was the inventor of the undead element, the greatest threat of this calamity would be his awakening, and the eternal life he sought was actually turning himself into an invincible undead. Only when he was awakened would he be able to control this huge army of undead. Its numbers were so overwhelming that it could simply shroud the sky and the sun. The army was so large that it was going to overrun the enormous ancient capital like an ocean. Mo Fan was utterly astonished after learning the truth. The first time he experienced the vastness and fear of this world of magic was during the calamity of Bo City, when he witnessed humans being freely massacred by the demon beasts. He could no longer evaluate the world with the same understanding he brought with him from his world. And this time, an emperor from 2,000 years ago was making a comeback. His awakening and crowning ceremony were going to be an unstoppable massacre committed by the undead. The ancient capital was the gift the undead had presented to their king who was going to dominate the world. After all, it had once belonged to him. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.